I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com. Follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello, welcome to episode 96 of WhysAdvice. And man, I want to open up real quick and I want to ask you a simple question. Would you rather have pizza or would you rather make goal? I ask that question a lot, and it's really fun when I get to see the comments, because when I ask that question, I make a whole lot of assumptions along the way. And so the question I ask is, would you rather have pizza or would you rather make goal? Would you rather have nachos or would you rather make goal? Would you rather have that donut or would you rather make goal? Now, every time I ask that question, somebody comes back and says, well, you can actually have both. And I agree with you. You actually can have both. There is nothing that's off limits on this plan. But what I know about this plan is at some point in your journey, you're going to have to make that decision. When you're out of points, I've asked you to stop eating points because that's how it takes to win. When you come up at the end of the day and you're out of points, and then you're tempted with pizza, the donut, the nachos, that is the point where I'm asking the question. I'm not asking the question on the first day of the week when you have all your weeklies left. I'm not asking you the question when you're planning and making mindful choices. I'm asking that question at the moment when you're out of points and you're hanging on and you're trying to make goal and you have to now make a decision. Do I want pizza or do I want to make goal? It's at that point when you choose making goal that you've completely changed your life, and then you will get to goal. So I'm not saying you can't have it. I'm not saying you have to abandon everything that you've done along the way, but I'm saying when you're out of points, stop eating points and make the hard decision and choose goal. And if you do that most of the time, not all the time, if you do that more often than not, you will reach your goal. And that's what we're all after. That's absolutely what we're all after. So go out and get it done. Episode 96, Doyle writes in, says, hello, my name is Doyle, and I live in Los Angeles, California. Thanks for being my wingman. I believe you're a blue dot angel for weight loss in a human body. I'm kind of a movie buff, and I really enjoy the music at the top of your podcast. It's put me in the frame of mind of an old Western, a cowboy riding off into the sunset. And when you say, when you're out of points, stop eating points, that reminds me of the Raging Bull scene where Joe Pesci tells Robert De Niro to stop eating. And finally, when you say, I believe in you, that reminds me of the Whitney Houston song, I Believe in You and Me. I am not sure if that was part of your creative process, but I like what you have done. Well, I'll stop right there and I will say, Doyle, that's exactly what I was planning. Yeah, absolutely. From the very start, that I was waiting for you to recognize that, and thank you for doing that. No, absolutely not. Man, that's just a coincidence. And I went and watched the YouTube video that you sent me, and man, that is spot on. And it's very cool. You want to lose weight? Stop eating. Obviously, it's not that simple. Doyle's email continues on, and finally, he says, I've been with Weight Watchers off and on many times since 2004. My first tour with Weight Watchers, I lost 45 pounds on the Flex plan. It was an amazing transformation of myself to the point where one of my family members did not recognize me for a hot second at my sister's wedding. I was 180 pounds in a cool-looking suit, standing in for my dad, who was heaven-bound, to give my sister away as a bride. Afterwards, I went back to school at night after working a full 8 hours. My late night studying turned into late night eating, and the weight plus more pounds found its way back to me. My wife and I had a few kids, and I was the one who craved everything. Sometimes on my way home, I would stop by the supermarket and pick up a quick fried food fix for my short journey home, and then eat dinner at home. Needless to say, my eating behaviors were out of whack. I was 242 pounds. At this moment of my life, I truly believe today, along with Weight Watchers, my awesome Weight Watchers leader, Amy, Connect, and my newfound wingman, FatDag, I have the proper pedagogy, also known as learning methods and tools, to help me focus on my whys. Before my mother boarded that train to heaven, one day I walked into her bedroom. She looked disappointed about something, and I said, "Ma, what's wrong?" She replied and said to me, "It's sad when you're old, sick, and out of shape." This was her way of giving me a why. So my why is to take my mother's wise advice. I can only do my best 2 out of 3. Father Time has his own plans. I think I was at my heaviest back in New Jersey. I weighed myself at the YMCA, and that scale read 255 pounds, uncomfortable size for a 5'8" guy. Fast forward to Saturday, July 29th, 2017. I made it to my 10% weight loss at my weekly Weight Watchers meeting. I am now 205 with 15 pounds to go to make goal. I am excited, and I want to thank you, FatDag, for your daily podcast talking about blue dots, being in the proper eating zone, having good focus, and stop eating points when you're out of points. I follow you on Connect, and I'd like to add one more thank you for taking the Pledge of Allegiance to serve and protect our country. Doyle. Well, Doyle, here's something, your story is fantastic. Your story reminds me of my story in a lot of ways. It took me 5 times to figure this Weight Watcher thing out, and every time I quit, I ended up rejoining. I rejoined at a higher weight. Just like you, I would stop on my way home from work and have a snack that would easily be considered dinner. I would come home, I would eat out of the cabinet. I would be eating a bag of potato chips as my wife was making dinner. Talk about bad habits, right? Much of what we do to become overweight, sure, the food has an impact, but it's the habit. And you recognize that your habit had to change. And your mom, a phenomenal lady, obviously, and her last piece of advice to you was very wise. And she said that, it's sad when you're old, sick, and out of shape. And you're right, you can't control one of them, but you absolutely can control the other 2. And so you have yourself armed with a very, very powerful why. What you've got to do is you've got to take that gift that your mother gave you, and you've got to put it to good use. The beautiful thing is you have another gift. You have the gift of knowing that what you're trying to do is possible because you've done it before. Another gift that you have is you have the gift of knowing what goal feels like. You were there. You wrote about it in this email. So it's a feeling that you can tap back into because you will recognize that feeling again when you get there. All of these things poise you very well for success. Combine that with the fact that on your current journey, you've hit your 10% goal. You clearly have the power, the ability, the mindset to reach goal. Now, I'm honored to see that you're here. I'm honored to be your wingman. I'm honored to take the pledge to our nation. It's important. And I'm honored to take the pledge here to let you know things that I found out along my journey, and we share them together. It's absolutely, it's just amazing what we can do together. So keep up the great work. And we will absolutely can't wait to hear when you reach goal. Doyle, thank you for your email. Ann writes in and says, "Hi, FatDag. Thanks so much for your podcast. It's been so encouraging and helped me keep my head in the right place during this journey. I want to share a celebration with you. I'm down 24.8 pounds without killing myself at the gym. I'm doing all I can to make it to that 25-pound milestone this week. I'm tempted not to celebrate because I still have a far ways to go, but even though I'm not at that top of the mountain, I think it's important to take a moment and enjoy the view. I know a 24.8 pound loss is a big deal for anyone. As you've said, it doesn't happen by accident, and I'm no exception. It's a huge deal for me. Before joining Weight Watchers, I didn't think I could lose weight without working out like a maniac. I truly didn't think it was physically possible for me. Until now, the only times I had successfully lost weight was by spending every free moment in the gym. Last year, I lost almost 25 pounds that way, but I was in constant pain. One day I woke up and my extremities weren't functioning properly. Turns out that fighting through back pain is a bad idea. 2 surgeries. 6 months later, I was able to walk, but I had gained 25 pounds. I knew what I needed to eat to be healthier, but I just didn't believe it would make a difference. When a friend recommended that I join her at Weight Watchers, I did it with reservations. See, I knew that focusing on diet alone wouldn't work for me. Boy, am I so glad I was wrong. At the first meeting, I told my leader why I was there and about the long climb ahead of me. I needed to succeed. She said, "You can and you will." I've internalized that thought, and it's true. I got here by focusing on my why and comparing every bite of food to that goal. I'm adding more physical activity into my life to build strength, but since it's not the key to my weight loss, I can actually listen to my body and work out only as I'm able. I do have a long way to go, but I'm so proud of myself for making it this far. This is new territory for me. In case you're wondering, my why is because I want to live a healthy life without limitations. I don't want my weight to keep me from traveling or from adventures, or especially from starting a family. It's a feasible goal. I can and I will. All the best, Anne. And man, you are just a ray of positivity. Man, the fact that you are so positive is what lifts me up. This is the kind of mindset it takes to win. You had some challenges that you absolutely overcame, and I'm confident that the reason you overcame them is because of your winning attitude. I believe in you. You believe in you clearly, which makes it very easy for me to believe in you. You have an absolutely great why. You're down 24.8 pounds. Man, that's incredible. Absolutely take a moment to enjoy the view along the way. We need to celebrate every step of this journey. Sure, when we get to goal, it's a feeling and we feel really good and we celebrate at that point. But man, I celebrate daily. Every day that I'm working this plan, I find some reason to celebrate because that's what keeps me going. It's absolutely it. Now, I love when you talked about that, until now, the only times you've successfully lost weight was by spending every free moment in the gym. Now, we certainly know that doesn't have to be that way. You've proven that. Many people on Connect have proven that. Sure, there is a mental refocusing that happens when you spend a considerable amount of time in the gym, but you don't have to use that to get there. You said you knew that focusing on dieting alone wouldn't work for you, and you're so glad that you were wrong. I want you to go out and go hug your friend. The friend that recommended Weight Watchers to you, we all know as friends, that's probably one of the hardest things to do, is to look at another friend in a loving, caring, compassionate way and say, "Hey, why don't you join me? I found something that worked. I think you would like it." And I know it's an uncomfortable conversation, but man, I'm having some great success on this program and it's changed my life. I think you should join me. The fact that your friend opened that back up to you and opened that door, you absolutely need to go celebrate with her. You need to call her and say thank you. Now, you got here by focusing on your why and comparing every bite of food to that goal. Do you want pizza or do you want to make goal? Do you want nachos or do you want to make goal? Do you want a candy bar or do you want to make goal? Do you want soda or do you want to make goal? Every single bite you ask that question. And I'm guessing a majority of the time you've chosen goal. And I'm also guessing that it wasn't 100% of the time. But if you've made the decision consciously and more often than not you've gotten the answer right, that's where your positivity comes from. That's where you're going to succeed. And Anne, I am honored to walk this journey with you. Thank you for your email. Great job for sure. Rebecca writes in, says, "Hi, Mike. I'm a big fan of your podcast and hope my story will inspire others the way so many have inspired me. I joined Weight Watchers in January of 2016 after realizing that I was at my highest non-pregnancy weight ever. I'm in my late 40s and I have a desk job. My slower metabolism and sedentary lifestyle has caught up with me. It was time to make a change. My initial why was simple: a black pencil skirt that had been hanging in my closet for too long. It's a beautiful lined Liz Claiborne skirt that had altered in 2014 to fit my figure. Man, it had fit me perfectly, and I felt awesome when I wore it. Until I couldn't. Little by little, the number on the scale crept up. And before I knew it, I couldn't get the zipper closed. No matter how much I wiggled, my favorite skirt wouldn't even fit over my hips. I wanted so badly to be able to wear it again. Fast forward to December 2016 when I made goal. I worked the plan. I was down 47.2 pounds. My Y skirt became my victory skirt. The options in my closet were many. What a great feeling to be able to wear things that I hadn't in years. I am proud to say that I made Lifetime in January of this year. I have lost 56.2 pounds total, and I love the way that I look. I actually now weigh less than I did in high school. Getting dressed is fun. I am truly proud of the shape my body is in for the first time ever. No more worrying if my arms are bare or if my dress is too short. I look and I feel great. My Y skirt, well, it no longer fits me. It has been added to the pile of donation clothes that are too big. Thanks, Weight Watchers. I know I won't ever be wearing them again. I've moved on to a new Y, and I'm a proud member of Team Lifetime. Thanks for all you do, Rebecca. Wow, Rebecca, that is an incredible story. And closet shopping is absolutely a blast. And you've done something that a handful of us who reached Lifetime do. And when I say reached Lifetime, it's the Lifetime that I talk about. It's that feeling where you say, I don't want to lose any more weight. There came a time in my journey where I absolutely had the ability, just like you, to shop for clothes in my closet. I could go into my closet and pick up things that I had not worn in years. And just like you, I got to the point where even those became too big. When you can push through and go through your closet shopping experience and then all of a sudden have to buy all new clothes, it's a completely different journey. That's where I talk about the best part of my journey was the last 10 or 15 pounds. There is no number on the scale that can compare to that feeling. So you absolutely have done an amazing job. Your slower metabolism, absolutely, your sedentary lifestyle, it's caught up with you. Sure, you had to make the change. I'm guessing that you've absolutely solved that. You've found a way to just get more exercise and activity into your day because you're doing fantastic work. Now, one more recommendation on clothing. You absolutely, you're taking what I believe is absolutely fantastic advice. When clothes become too big, even just a little bit too big, it's time for them to go. It's time to buy things that you look absolutely fantastic in. And I love your email where you say, no more worrying about if my arms are bare or if my dress is too short. I look and I feel great. When we look and we feel great and we don't worry about any of that, that is the goal that I talk about. Welcome to Team Lifetime. You've gotten it done. I am so proud of you. Keep up the amazing work. Sarah writes in, says, hello, I want to thank you for your commitment to being our wingman. I really appreciate your dedication to helping us. What really makes my heart smile is how you're giving back and paying it forward to others. At Easter, I asked my college-age son to take a photo of me. It was an eye-opening experience. I saw candidly what I needed to change. I joined Weight Watchers online. I read the stories on Connect. The encouragement and support are huge. I read about your podcast on Connect. They become a part of my routine. After I exercise, I listen to one as part of my cool down. It keeps me motivated. It also helps me to know that I am not alone on this very individual journey. In 3 months, I've lost almost 20 pounds. My clothes fit better. My energy levels increased. I stop eating points when I'm out of points. The best part, my focus, and my attitude are geared in the same direction. Thank you for being such a great guide in the process, Sarah. Sarah, absolutely. Thank you as well. And so, I appreciate you taking the moment in the opening of your email to what really makes your heart smile is how I'm giving back and paying it forward. I want to take a second to address that. And I get into this conversation every once in a while because a lot of folks ask me, how are you able to do this? Why are you able to do this? And I want to take a moment, Sarah, to explain to you why I believe this is important. There came a point in my journey where I didn't know what the next step was going to be. I faced that challenge. If you listen to my episode 54 or 12, I guess, it talks about, where I was in my life, where I struggle. If this process did not work out for me, if my 5th attempt at losing weight did not get me to a goal weight, my complete life, that as I know it, would be completely different than it is today. It would be so turned upside down. Being kicked out of the military for being overweight would probably force me to have to move, force me to have to sell the house. I don't know what it would have done. I really don't. So what I've done is I found a way to say, at this point, I should have been unemployed, so I can take a few hours to give back to the community that saved my life. And so thank you for recognizing that. And so your college-age son took a photo of you. It was eye-opening. Man, that's something I recommend to all of us. When we get in these situations where we say we have to lose weight, there's something about a photo that's different than your mirror. It's different than the selfie. When somebody else takes a photo for you and it's kind of candid and you finally get a chance to look at it, if you don't like what that photo looks like, the good news is you have the ability to do something about it. And you're doing just that. The fact that you're posting on Connect and following along on Connect, I love the words you use. The specific words you've used are words I've not seen before in this phrase. And it says, it also helps me to know that I am not alone on this very individual journey. That's powerful because the journey is an individual journey. The journey is 100% in our mind. So which means it's 100% your responsibility to take control of your own journey, make the changes, find the discipline to stop eating points when you're out of points, and get it done. So it's a very individual journey, but the fact that other people have similar feelings to what we have, other people are going through the same thing that we're going through, lets us know that we're not alone in this individual journey. So I appreciate you taking the time to craft those words perfectly. The fact that your attitude and your focus are geared in the right direction is what's going to get you to goal. So you're doing absolutely great work. One of the things I've recognized, and I see it in your email, and I see it in all the emails tonight, is people who are working the plan properly, people who are getting the results that they want, people who have found a way to continue to work their plan that they need to work it. They've made the adjustments. They've found ways to do what they need to do to get the results. People who are doing that are happier. And that happiness is a cycle that makes you want to try harder and harder and harder to get to goal. Sarah, thank you for your email. It's an honor to walk this journey with you. Last up, we're celebrating a little bit on Facebook. Just before, the Facebook crowd was hanging in, and Christy let me know she hit her 50-pound charm today in her meeting. That's incredible work. Christy, 50 pounds. It doesn't happen by accident. It takes focus. It takes discipline. You absolutely are getting it done. You don't hit 50 pounds by accident. If you've hit 50 pounds, you have proven to yourself that you can make goal. You've proven to yourself that at some point you were not perfect in the journey, but you continued to keep going. At some point you chose to make goal over something that you probably could have had instead. At a 50-pound weight loss journey, you made a hard decision more than once to choose you, and that has paid off. If you've lost 50 pounds, which you clearly have, you have the ability to get the goal. I'm so honored to celebrate with you. It's absolutely amazing to hang out with you. Thank you for being here for sure. I want to know what it is that you're celebrating. Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com, click on Listen Now. Send in your celebrations. The show 100% revolves around your celebrations. I want to hear from you at Lifetime. I want to hear when you make 10%. I want to hear when you make 5%. I want to hear when you lost your first pound. I want you to email it in so that we can celebrate together, and I want you to be proud of what you're doing. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus.